Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Gideon of Gideon Forex Academy. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and please watch this video till the end. Give it a like because this is very valuable to your trading, especially if you're a beginner. This is very good for you, and this is also valuable for those who have been in trading for some time. So this is what I call trend lines trading. All right, trend lines trading. So we trade using the trend lines as our guide. All right, so there are two methods. Okay, retail traders like to do this, especially those who trade with the trend lines. All right, so we will be looking at the first method is a retest. Okay, using retests, and the second one is using break and retest method. All right, trading around trend lines. Just listen to what I'm saying and watch this illustration on the screen here for you to fully understand this lesson. There is a nugget at the end. I'll be showing you how to avoid certain common mistakes among forex traders trading around trend lines. All right, especially during the break and retest. There is a common mistake which I'll reveal at the end of this video, and you don't want to miss it so that you don't make mistakes and continue losing money. Okay, so I'll also give you a solution on how to avoid that mistake. So watch this video till the end, guys. All right, so we are going to begin with an uptrend. As you can see, this is a clear uptrend here, and we are going to draw our trend line right there like that. Okay, so usually how we draw the trend line, we make sure it touches at least 2 or 3 points. Like you can see here, this is the first point, and that would be the second point. There is a third point also, but we can see this is the second point, and that is the second touch. Okay, so what traders like to do, what retail traders like to do when they are trading along trend lines, all right, they want to wait for that that bounce off at the trend line, creating higher highs. Like in this case, in an uptrend, the trend is forming higher highs and higher lows. This is a higher low. Okay, so when it forms a higher low around the trend line, when the moment touches the trend line, retail traders are looking to buy around this point. Okay, so the retail trader is looking to buy around this point. They will place their buy order after confirmations at lower time frames at this point here, okay, at the bounce off, and they're looking to take a profit like that, and they will wait for a continuation up. They take their profit around 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, and they wait for another retracement back to the trend line. Okay, once it touches again the trend line, they're looking for buying opportunities at the trend line right there. Okay, they're placing their buy orders again. All right, and they're targeting a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio to the upside trend line. All right, like right there, like right here, and like right there. They buy as the trend continues to the upside. All right, so that is the retest method. Okay, so there is a retest right here, retest at the trend line, and then there is another retest here. Okay, so in anticipation, traders are waiting for another retest as the price rallies up. They are waiting for another higher low right here, a retracement. So in anticipation, they are waiting for another retest at this trend line before they can make a decision to buy again, before they can make a decision to buy. In case the price gives them a confirmation around here, you have to wait for a confirmation before you buy. Just in case a break below this area happens, traders typically wait for a retest around that trend line before they consider selling. Okay, before they can consider selling, that would be a trend reversal. It would be a break and retest. So the first one would be a retest, and the second method would be a break and retest. Okay, this is typically how the retail traders would trade around trend lines. Okay, they would typically wait for a bounce off at the trend line to buy to buy the retest. Okay, and then they would wait for a break below the trend line and a retest. That's what we call a break and retest before they can consider selling, like in this case. All right. So that is in an uptrend. Okay. In a downtrend, it would just simply be the opposite. Okay, as we shall see in the next example. So in this second example, it would be in a downtrend. As you can see, this is a downtrending market. Okay, this is now a downtrend. You can see the market is forming. Okay, this would be a lower high and that would be a lower low. That would be a lower low and that would be another lower high right there. And that would be another lower low right there. Okay, so typically the market forms lower highs and lower lows as it moves in a downtrend. Okay, like that. So in this downtrend, you are looking to sell. So typically what traders do at the trend lines, they're looking to sell at every bounce off at the trend line. Like in this case, they're looking to sell at these lower high points. Okay, looking to sell right there and looking to sell right here, and they're looking to sell at every opportunity at the touch of the trend line right there. Okay, as the market goes down. Okay, opportunities to sell at the bounce off at the trend line right there. Okay, they're selling right there and they're selling even right here. They're placing their sell orders, and that's how they would trade the trend line. Of course, with confirmations at lower time frames, you consider those confirmations at lower time frames for you to get that good sell in, okay, at the trend line. So should the price break above here, should the price break above this level here, typically traders would be waiting for a retest before they can buy all the way to the upside. Okay, that would be a break and retest. But in this case, this would be just a retest. The traders are placing orders at the retest. This would be a retest area. Okay, they'll be placing orders at the retest right there. Okay, that would be the retest, and they would sell again at the retest here, and they will sell again at the retest down here. Okay, that would be the first method. The second method would be buying at the break and retest. Should the price break here, as I illustrated, that would be a break. Okay, this retest right here. Okay, traders would be buying after the retest right here to the upside. Okay, so that would be a break and retest, and you always have to wait for confirmations to buy at this point. Okay, so I'm also going to show you the mistake that traders sometimes make when they are trading this and cost them money. All right, let me show you how that works. Say this is a downtrending market. You have lower highs and lower lows. Okay, like that. Okay, you have this downtrending market. You have this downtrending market, and the traders are typically waiting to sell at this point. They're waiting to sell at this point, and they're selling at this point. Okay, that is the way you would trade this. Okay, with confirmations at lower time frames. But should the price break above this level, you'd be waiting for a retest and continue, and you buy at the bounce off at the trend line. But the mistake traders normally make is that they don't wait for the price to break above the most recent lower high. This is the most recent lower high right here. Okay, so there is a lower high right here. This is a lower high. That would be a lower high right there. Okay, the most recent lower high. The price will always wait for the price. Okay, don't immediately buy at this point simply because there has been a break and retest. As long as the price has not broken above this lower high, do not buy. okay? The price has to break above this lower high, okay, before you can actually buy. So do not buy as long as the price, even if the price has broken above the trend line, do not buy. Wait for that price to break the most recent lower high, which is this one over here. Once the price breaks that lower high, okay, then you wait at that lower high for a confirmation to buy. So you buy at this point here with a confirmation, okay, to the upside. So you buy at this point after the retest, after the price has broken above this lower high, okay? Do not buy around this area simply because there is a breakout, okay, of the trend line. Wait for a confirmation of break above the previous lower high before you can buy at this point, okay? That's the correct way to trade, okay? If you make a mistake of buying around this point, there is a possibility of that price reversing, okay, and taking your stop loss out and continuing the trend to the downside. Because as long as the price is still below this previous lower high, okay, that trend is still very much bearish, okay? Is still very much bearish as long as it has not broken above this lower high. Okay, wait for the price to break that most recent lower high before you can place your buys. Okay, as long as it is below that lower high, again, it is very much still bearish. Similarly, in an uptrend, if you have higher highs and higher lows, higher high and a higher low, you have a higher high and a higher low. Okay, this is an uptrend market. Okay, just to illustrate, in an uptrending market, you have higher highs and higher lows. Okay, this is a higher high. This is a higher high. Okay, and that is another higher high. This is a higher low. Higher low right there. Okay, so as the market goes up, it creates higher highs and higher lows, all right? So in this case, this is the trend line right here, okay? So traders like to buy at this point. They buy at this point, and then just as I've illustrated already, at the retest here, they're buying, and then they're buying at another retest right here. At every retest, they're buying. But should the price break below the trend line, like in this case, should the price break below the trend line, okay, typically traders are quick to sell at the retest, okay? They are quick to sell at the retest. That is not the right way to trade this, okay? Always wait for the price, okay? Let me just change this to red. Always wait for the price to break below the higher low at this point, okay? Wait for the price to break below this most recent higher low. I'll just change that to purple, okay? This higher low. The price should break below this higher low to indicate a trend reversal before you can place your sales. That is the best way to trade, guys, all right? If this, as long as the price has not taken out this higher low, do not place your sales, because as long as the price is still above this higher low, it is still very much an uptrend, okay? It could reverse from here and continue to the upside, guys. It's possible for price to still continue even if it has broken below the trend line, below this higher low. If it breaks below this higher low, then you can wait for your confirmations at this point to go short. Press your sell orders around this area. That is the most sure way you can be confident that there is a trend change and you can sell at this point all the way to the downside. So early around this, if you place your sales around this point, okay, that would be so early, so early, because even here you're not sure that the price will drop further, because it's possible for price to still continue to the upside since it is still an uptrend. Even if the price has broken below the trend line, there's a possibility of that price still continuing to the uptrend because this higher low has not been taken out. Wait for the higher low to be taken out before you can place your sell orders, okay, below there. Okay, so this is the way you would actually properly trade or more profitably trade this. Okay, always wait for that confirmation, guys. So that is the mistake that most traders make, and please do not make that mistake. This is a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, okay, lower high, and then lower low. All right, okay. Now this, let's assume the price is presently at this point, okay, and the price has broken out right here, okay, and now some traders would be quick to buy at the retest right here. They would be looking to buy immediately at the breakout right here, and that would be a big mistake to buy at the breakout right here, because when you buy at the breakout, guess what happens? The price will retrace and take you stop loss out right here. You can see that the stop loss would be taken out right here with this retracement, okay, because you bought too early. You did not wait for a confirmation is a lower high. So always wait for the price to take out that lower high. This is a lower high right here, okay. This is a lower high. So wait for the price to take out this previous lower high before you can actually buy. Because if you bought too early, guess what? You'd lose this trade right here. Your stop loss is taken out before the price actually goes to the upside later. Okay, so the wise trader would wait for that confirmation of the break above the previous lower high area. Okay, like in this case, wait for that retest and then you buy. Okay, that would be the better trade to take at this point. Okay, you take a bit longer. Okay, this would be a winning trade. Okay, guys, so this is the way you would trade this more profitably. Okay, always wait for the lower high to be taken out in a downtrend, like in a downtrend market, and you are anticipating to trade the break and retest. Okay, this would be a break and retest around this area. Wait for a confirmation after the break above the lower high, so that because that would indicate a complete trend reversal to the upside. Okay, wait for that confirmation. Do not make mistake of buying around immediately. Simply because the price has broken above the trend line does not mean you immediately jump in for a buy. Wait for a break above the lower high. Okay, so also in a downtrend, it would be the same. In an uptrend, let's say in reverse, it would be the same thing. Wait for the price to break the previous higher low, okay, before you can actually sell. Okay, it should be the previous higher low before you can actually sell. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.